Well, good afternoon and welcome to this women's national team update. We have Coach Kita and the captain of the Bermuda women's national team with us, both of them full of smiles. That's what we want, full of smiles, full of smiles, yes. Coach, clearly we know what we have to do up against the Dominican Republic tomorrow. There can't be any secrets about we need to win. And how are we shaping up for this battle, the first one?
Yeah, well, it's similar. We had two good games to prepare us for this third match. And so now is again putting the two pieces together, and the players understand what's expected. They understand what we need from them defensively and what we need from them offensively. We obviously, due to forced changes, we've had to make some changes. So we got everybody together yesterday. We had a good teaching training session to kind of add some stuff to the way in which we want to play. But we had to, quite a few girls overseas. The local players that were working on these things back at home for the past 2 to 3 weeks. So it was a good teaching session. The vibe in the camp is very good. Today we actually kind of went over it a bit more and actually had a 15 to 20 minute scrimmage where we saw a lot of good things. We do have another healthy headache when it's going to come to team selection because we saw different aspects of players. Players have gone away from the February matches and they've done some work and they've come back now and they're forcing us to say, hey, yeah, get me in there, give me a shot. So it's a good space for us to be in. After the 2 training sessions, I think we have it down to who it is that we know we need to start and to go there and get the job done. But we have an amazing bench. Again, so regardless of who's on the field, we anticipate the same energy level and the objective and the outcome.
Sure. Coach, Captain Eva Frazzoni, obviously you're around your teammates a little more than the coaches because obviously you girls would talk about a little more and just get together. What is the spirit like right now? Obviously the coaches indicated that changes had to be made, forced changes had to be made. So, but these players that are coming to the team are not new, so they've been around you guys long enough. So what is the spirit like going into these matches here?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like we talked about before, this team is on a different wavelength in the best way possible. Our camaraderie is good. We know what we have to take to them tomorrow. Like Coach said, our force changes have brought in new personnel, but they know what it means to be a part of this team. And I mean, it's all part of our process. From our first game from Jamaica, we showed a lot that people weren't expecting. We built from that into Cayman, and now we're ready to go into Dominican and keep building and keep going forward in things that we've worked on. Yeah, I mean, it's just to have fun. A lot of us, like, if you've been around on the girls, we're all a bunch of jokers at the same time. So now we're really trying to tune in right now and kind of come together and really feed on each other and discuss what it's really going to take tomorrow and forward.
Would you say this layoff in between game 2 and game 3 has been something that was needed for Bermuda, Captain?
I don't know if it was like necessarily, like I say, needed specifically for Bermuda. I mean, it's very exciting knowing that we have a tour and then we have a little bit of time and then we have something again. I mean, we all love to play football and playing for your country. And like Coach said, a lot of people have gone back and know now what they need to bring to make sure that they are more of a starter or more significant time. So definitely good on that. I mean, for multiple tours before, we've had game, rest, and it's been a lot. It is definitely a much better feeling and having it spread out. And I mean, doing one tour, like I said, and then going back for a bit and then being like, oh, we're going again, makes it more exciting. It makes it just that much better. And I hope that it continues to be like that without huge gaps in between.
Coach, for the surface that you'll be playing on tomorrow, what do you anticipate happening with our formation and our style of play? Obviously, we know what our surface is like in Bermuda, but is it similar there?
Yeah, it's not going to be as good as the National Stadium North Field, but it's a pretty true surface. We played there beyond the fantasy the other day. It's a good surface. The grass is a little thicker than what we've been training on, but it's not like we've gone from Clyde that son of accidents to now playing on the grass. So the girls will be able to manage. I think technically we'll be fine. These girls have developed such great technical skills that I watching them in training and bouncing the ball and playing the ball around and building and just having fun out there playing. And so I we were not afforded to my dismay an official training session on the actual pitch for whatever reason. They tried to give an explanation, which wasn't good enough, but I'm in a foreign country, I can't fight that first. So at the end of the day, I have to make sure that we have to make sure we keep the players in a space and say, hey, it is what it is. If we're in this, it's game management. We have to rise above it, right? So I know for a fact that tomorrow, once we get there, we do our work on the pitch, and these girls will do. It'll be better than the field that we practiced on. So that's a good thing too. So yeah, I don't have any doubt that we'll be able to manage on the surface.
What about health wise? Is everyone there ready to go, or do we have any injury concerns?
Yeah, maybe minor injuries, right? Nothing that we have some players that's playing through some things, but you won't know that they are playing through those things. Obviously, I know because I speak with physio, but they're playing through some niggling injuries that I know we'll get through it with them over these next two matches, and then they'll get a break. To kind of recover. Some heading back to their clubs, some heading back to their schools, but for the most part, we don't have anyone that is here that cannot play a part.
Now, obviously, there's a lot of excitement about the next game. So, how do you plan to make sure that they stay focused on this game first before the next game?
It's tough, right? Because it's almost like this game's not even happening. You are absolutely correct. The excitement is around Tuesday, at the National Sports Center, and I have to just keep reminding them that we have a job to do here first. We have to do this job here first, so that game is not just a formality on Tuesday. We win this game tomorrow, we're still in it. We're still in the hunt, and we hope that the Dominican pick themselves up and can do us a favor and take care of Jamaica. So we have to do our job here first. So we can't look beyond this match. The very next game, that's the most important game right now. We deal with Grenada, then we get to Bermuda. Well, right now, our job is to take care of the business tomorrow with the Dominican. We get that job done, then tomorrow night we can have a whole different conversation.
Ava, for you, how exciting was it the first two games to get back in action, be around your teammates? Now that you had time to reflect on it, because we did speak about it after the second game, but now you had that chance to reflect on those two games and now getting into the next one, game three. How exciting was it for you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think my excitement has changed. Like I said before, it's kind of like indescribable to kind of put into words what it really means to Bermuda and with these girls. I mean, it's even more exciting, like we talked about before, because I really do think that we're on a different path right now, mindset, physically, and knowing collectively what we need to do. I mean, yeah, but it's also kind of now focusing on what is now. Like before, when at the end of the two games, it was all about the excitement of what we did and what we proved, but now we need to keep building from that. So, of course, it's really exciting, but what we need to do tomorrow, we need to make that work what it was. So it's just kind of like now focusing in on what we need to do tomorrow. Like Coach said, yeah, we're all excited. I mean, playing Bermuda is amazing, but we want it to be playing for something. So we need to focus on tomorrow and then we go for the next.
What has your time in between the games look like in preparation for this one?
Yeah, I mean, I'm back in England. I'm crawling through my master's, so very much crawling. So it's been very much school based. I am playing for my school. I haven't gone to a club yet. That's my tackle after Bermuda's been my focus. So I've been trying to stay healthy and manage my schoolwork, but also manage physically so that I can do what my team needs me to do for these games.
And Coach, you said a lot of people went back and was doing stuff that I guess you guys talked to them about. What are some of the things the coaching staff has been working on in this split time to prepare for the Dominican Republic?
So yeah, I was preparing to take Jamaica. We worked a lot on our defensive setup and how we wanted to look, defending. And we spent very little time in the attacking side of the game, on the offensive side of the game. So in between these two games, we got to see some of the attacking work, or the offensive stuff, against Cayman, but we didn't really spend time on. So these last few weeks in between, it's been more on the offensive side, and working a lot on coursing and finishing, and building and finishing. We had some good instances against the Cayman Islands. We were able to share with the players so that they could see that this is what we're looking to do. At one point we scored a goal building all the way back on the goalkeeper. Just played all the way up the field, and we scored from it. So working on them understanding the two pieces now. So we're gonna have defensive moments against Dominican, and we're gonna have offensive moments. So it's about being able to connect the dots and understand the transition. So that's what we've been working on, helping them understand the transition between the two.
Now, clearly, we know what we're up against for tomorrow night, and trying to get that job done. But how are you managing? Because everybody wants to play, regardless. Everybody wants time on the pitch. So how do you manage the players who are not selected in the starting 11 and that are on the bench and possibly not get on the field? How are you not managing that part? Because there will be some disappointment.
Okay. Oh, well, I'll talk about on the player sense. I mean, you come into a team, and sometimes everyone has a role. And what I'm doing, and what a lot of us are trying to do, is to talk about and understand that, honestly and truthfully, it's going to take everyone to win. I mean, in the training sessions, to on the bench, to supporting, you never know what can happen. You never know when you get that time. I mean, obviously, as a player, it is frustrating when you're not playing because you love the sport, but not in every team are you that role yet. And I think that you, as a player who hasn't always had a big role like that and grown, use it as motivation. But at the same time, we're all supporting each other, and also very understanding that it can be frustrating to not get minutes, but also you have to work on the things and listen to the coaches to why that's not you yet. But I think that this team is doing very well, and we are really working on the fact that, I mean, we're a team. It really takes everyone. So it's not about combating with each other, but it's about supporting and also pushing each other so that everybody is better.
Yeah, from the coach's standpoint, we didn't have anything between now and between 2018 and 2022. So the first time it was rocky. It wasn't easy. They were upset. They didn't play in Jamaica because there was so much hype around Jamaica, the Jamaica game, Jamaica. I think this time around is a little better. We learned more as players and as coaches. So it's a lot of individual conversations. It's allowing players to come and say how they feel in a safe space. Some do, some don't. We make it safe. Like, you can say what you have to say on how you feel, and we will give you that. We know exactly why we choose who we choose. We know that there are players that can start the game. We know there are players that need to watch the game and can come on and bring something to the game. And so we have it under control. It's just a matter of the players trusting us. Yes, we know that you want to play, but I need you to be supportive of that person that's playing in your position, because it may not necessarily always be the footballing side that got them in and got you out. It may sometimes be the organizational skill. They may have enough footballing skill, but they cannot organize as well. This is what put them on the field, where you're a player that's still learning that part of your game. Yeah, so some players may be very aggressive, but then that's only one aspect of the game. So we have individuals. We have amazing video footage, so we can sit down with players and say, look at this. This is your last performance, and the footage that we get is only on that player. So it gives us all of their actions in a match, the last match that they played, and they'll put it up on the screen, and it speaks for itself. You cannot argue with footage, right? And sometimes the coaches, I'll be honest, for tomorrow's match right now, we have a sticky decision to make, because when you know what a player can bring and then what they do bring. And I'm like, I can hope that you bring it tomorrow, but from these last two sessions, I haven't seen it, so it's like, what do we do, right? And so we try to get these players every time you step on the field, an audition. Every time you train, it's an audition. You are trying to make the starting 11. So it's not always easy. And I don't think there's a coach in the world that has such an easy job where, oh, you just pick and everybody that's not playing is happy. We want players to be unhappy that they're not playing because when we get on the field, we anticipate that we will be happy.
All right. Well, I'm gonna let you guys go because obviously you still have things to do to prepare for tomorrow night. Did you have a good training session earlier today?
Yeah, actually, I haven't enjoyed those training sessions. You know, from the outside looking in, people may look and be like, but that was kind of sluggish. But what was learned in those sessions was valuable. I really enjoyed today's session. Some people thought that they didn't have a great session. Well, I didn't see. I didn't see where anything out of the ordinary. You know what I mean? I mean, if today's toucher or a bad passer, he doesn't have that, right? But the intensity level at the training session is good. The understanding of what we're trying to do is good too. Those are the things that we look at as coaches. You know, we know that players are gonna mess up, make the wrong decision. The touch is gonna let them down. You know what I mean? But it's not consistent enough for us to be like, we had a horrible session, right? So you know, at the end of the day, it's helping them understand players will always focus on the two things they did wrong in training and forget the 15 correct things that they done because we spend a lot of time as coaches. We have to work on that. We spend time as coaches too, that because you're trying to fix what's wrong, you're forgetting what was done right.
Mm-hmm.
And players tend to think about that. So they think about the last thing I did wrong. I did this wrong. I did this wrong. So now they go into the match and now I'm overthinking. Now yesterday in training, my touch was off. So now I'm gonna focus on my touch. No, you don't. Just go there, play, relax. Your touch was off yesterday. Tomorrow your touch is gonna be fine. You know what I mean? Just don't overanalyze it. So that's our job too as coaches. Just make sure that they just stay calm, relax, understand mistakes will happen. Is what to do after these mistakes. So I enjoyed the training session. I mean, I sat down on the bench at one point. I was just watching the game. I even forgot the point I wanted to make at one point because I enjoyed watching. And it's weird because we had the starters against the game changers, and the game changers was taking it to the starters, which is good though because that means that my starters didn't have an easy training session. Mm-hmm. So that means they're going to carry that into the game tomorrow because they realize that wait a minute, my teammates are on me. You know, so as a coach, this is like this amazing space to be in. Like I flew up to this day of my bed and I'm smiling, you know, thinking about this game tomorrow, and I'm excited. Like the girls are ready to play, and we're ready to play as well.
All right. Well, good luck tomorrow. We'll be speaking with you after the match, and just tell everybody to have fun. That's the most important thing. Let's all have fun. Get the job done. See you guys when you return.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you. Yourself.
All right.